All right, hey guys, here we are, hole number 9. And let's see what we got here. Good so far. So one of the things that I'm going to do, I'm probably going to need to go relatively full here. So I'm expecting I'm going to need to land in this plane. Keep in mind with a POC 6, you can in POC 5, a POC 6, you can probably start to back off on this a little bit. However, I'm going to need to go full throttle. Now the way that I'm going to choose to pull rings here, I'm going to do this a little bit more precise. I want to make sure that I'm okay. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 7.5 rings for a 10. Other than that, I'm going to make sure that I kind of straighten this out the best that I can and just pull straight up. See, just caught a great ball to the left. May end up leaning this a little bit. So let's see. And sure enough, it is. I don't have a lot of room for error within a POC 4. But the best thing that I'm hoping is to just kind of get my eagle. Figure out a way to get my eagle. So with a POC 5, a POC 6, like I said, you could start to get that just a little bit more dialed. And when you start to dial that in, especially with the higher accuracy, with just a little bit more accuracy of the POC 5, a POC 6, and probably would have stayed in the fairway with that exact same shot. Otherwise, perfect ball there would have just, thread up right through there. I have a decision to make. Like, I don't know whether to kind of show you guys how to get out of from the rough or to just pitch out and give you guys the sniper shot. Because I feel like there's going to be a chance that you're in either one. Like, I think that rough is going to be possible. It's always going to be something that you have to worry about, especially if you have to do what I did, which is go full throttle. So if you have those longer pay-to-win balls, it's going to be better. It's going to be much better. Now, let's just go over this because, we can still get out of this. I'm not going to probably hit it, but I'll at least show you what to do. So what I recommend is kind of landing up in this plane. And if I land up here towards the top, which I would imagine very little power, I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of this, and then just create that nice little angle, I should be able to get this up by the green in any regard. So that's more or less what I'd be looking, and that would be essentially aiming here as my target, but knowing that it's going to land way up here, probably 7, 8 rings down. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pitch it out, and we're just going to hit it up to where we essentially should be. And then I'll show you guys how I recommend going at it from here. There's a couple of choices that you have. You do have this rough bump sliver here. Very challenging to make it that way. I've always been a fan of this shot here, which is just bouncing off the fairway. I've had good success with it like this, so I do like to play it this way. And one of the things that you'll see with the rough bump, especially when you're at sniper range, you really kind of got to get your perfect ball. But I do kind of like that strategy as well. I like kind of both of these. But with straight wins, I kind of trust my ability to be able to, go off this fairway here. As opposed to if it was a crosswind, then I'd probably defer to the rough bump, because it would just be too hard to play the wind effect. But this isn't so bad playing the wind effect. So that's oftentimes when you'll see that I'll just go off of the fairway here. But let's just see how it looks. I do want to see, where are we in terms of max? You can see, and you can see you don't have a lot of room for error on this. You have one ring to kind of just barely keep it out of the bunker. It's one of the main reasons that I don't go for that shot. So what you'll see is I try to, for the most part, keep that ball guide as straight as possible. Kind of somewhere in here. You'd see we're going to be pulling down towards min club. However, I'm still going to pretty much probably keep my max club adjustment because we have a more intense wind. So what was that? 1.7 rings, 1.6. So I may still pull another full 10. Very significant ring adjustment here. I was really worried about timing out and jumped the gun on that one. But let's just see how the distance looks like. It looks really good. My distance control there was good. You can see I barely kept the ball guide short, but I also went max plus some. I went, 11.7 rings there, and it looks pretty dialed. Had I had just a split more second, I would have held on to that, and I may have great balled left, but I wouldn't have been early as I was. I wanted to make sure that I didn't time out because I knew I didn't have another. If I'd have timed out there, you guys wouldn't have even seen the shot and how it rolled out at all. So I just wanted to make sure that there was enough time on the clock there. But in any regard, good luck with your rounds. As you can see, getting into the fairway there, it's going to give you a very good opportunity. One of the best tips that I have for you, don't try to create too much side spin there on that last one, because the straighter you keep that ball guide, the more likelihood that it has to stay on line. So you don't want to create too much of an angle there with your spin. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep that ball guide straight. Also, keep in mind that it's going to pitch forward some, and that's why I'm doing that so much of an overplay. Even at mid club there, pulling down towards min almost, I'm still using beyond max on the adjustment. It's more has to do with, the whole notebook wind thing. So if I was using wind directional arrows here and switching to here, you'll see that the min number still shows essentially max adjustment, and that's more or less what I'm doing. I'm pulling down to this club, and I'm essentially still need to go that many rings because I'm pulling down towards min almost to it exactly, and because the wind's at this angle or whatever, you can see the adjustment still needs to be substantial. And there's no elevation in play. So that's more or less what's happening. So keep that in mind. Good luck with your rounds, guys. As I said, feel free to check out those other master guides. That are going to be more pay to win balls. So do, keep that in mind. Good luck and take care, everyone.